This video is sponsored by Ridge. Before I start this tier list, let me introduce to you an S-tier wallet. Their wallets hold up to 12 cards with room for cash. They have over 30 colors and styles. They also come with RFID blocking tech and a lifetime warranty. If you're from the US, you can enter on their website without spending $1 for a chance to win a brand new upgraded Hennessy Ford Bronco, or $75,000 if you prefer cash. You get one bonus entry for every dollar you spend, and custom Hennessy products come with up to 1,000 entries. The Hennessy collection also comes with a key case, which securely holds up to 6 keys and prevents them from jiggling. If you ever considered getting a Ridge wallet, now is the best time. Use my link ridge.com/mp to get 10 bonus entries and use my code MP at checkout to get 10% off your order. Thanks to Ridge for sponsoring this video. Okay, it's time. Welcome guys to my first tier list ever. People have been making tier lists for years and I never did that. But maybe we should. Maybe we should start doing tier lists. At least of things that are important to us. And Path of Exile is a pretty important game in my life. I missed a lot of leagues because I started pretty late, but then I played almost everything, and you know, here we are 12,000 hours later. So I'm gonna make a tier list on the Path of Exile leagues, mostly concerning the league mechanic itself and its future implementation. I could just go for league mechanic only in the league, but I think it's important to also take into account how it affected the rest of the game in the future. I'm gonna try to separate the league mechanic from the state of the game at the time. So if I really like the league mechanic, but the patch surrounding, the Path of Exile patch at the time was like not great, I'll try to still rate the league mechanic itself, but I probably won't be able to do that well enough. So first of all, let's just throw out the leagues that I didn't play, which is like half of them on the bottom, pretty much the first like 10 leagues. Bloodlines, Torment, Tempest, Talisman, Perandus, Prophecy, Essence. So I technically started in Essence League, but I only played like the last week. And I just got a single character to like the low 90s, and then I tried out mapping and did some early red maps with like a Firestorm character. So I can't really rate this, but it technically was my start. If I rated it, I would probably put it in C. Essence is a fine mechanic. Actually, it's pretty good for crafting. I would probably still put it in C, but I'll put it at didn't play. Breach, however, was my first real league start. And Breach is an amazing mechanic. It held up really well for like a few more leagues. Then it kind of fell off, and then they reworked it, and now it was good again for a long time. But now they reworked it again, and now it's not great again. So I don't know. Breach itself though is an amazing mechanic, and the league was fun. I'm gonna rate it as A. Legacy. Legacy was the first league where you could play older leagues that you haven't played, and for that reason alone, I think it would start at least B. I think I'm also gonna rate it as A. Legacy introduced League Stones, which then never were part of the game again, but then a couple of leagues later, Betrayal introduced Scarabs, which is basically League Stones. I think I'm rating Legacy also on A. Really good first 2 leagues back to back. Harbinger. Harbinger mechanic is okay. It introduced mirror shards, which is nice. It's nice to find mirror shards. It introduced ancient orbs, which is great for gambling, but it gets boring pretty fast. It introduced annuls, which is good for crafting. It's just a bunch of different currencies. Harby was okay. I would not rate it high though. I think I'm rating it as B. Abyss. Abyss was kind of okay. It's another kind of Breach-like mechanic. You run over to the thing, a bunch of mobs spawn. I am not a big fan, or I wasn't a big fan of Abyssal Jewels. Initially they were really strong for like bow builds, and they added a lot of flat damage. But I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of. Initially I wasn't a big fan of Abyssal Jewels. Now we use them all the time for end league meme projects because it's the easiest way to like, if something can roll on an Abyssal Jewel, you can just spam your entire skill tree with voices, says Delirium, and fill them up with Abyssal Jewels. But the League mechanic itself is kind of okay. There's the Lich boss fights, which are like phasing encounters, so you can't kill them, you have to go down, kill the thing, come back, do 30% damage, go down. Lich boss fights are not great. I think I'm actually putting it as C tier. It's like a middle of the road. Bestiary. Okay, so the initial implementation of Bestiary, where you have to like manually lower the mob to low HP, not kill it, and then use a net to capture it, is like F tier. However, they fixed it so that Einhar captures it for you. First, they added necromancy nets, so that even if you kill it, you can capture it after, but you still have to do it yourself. And then they made Einhar finally capture it. However, the future implementation, the implications for the future of Path of Exile with Bestiary cannot be ignored. The amount of bugs and exploits that Bestiary created with imprinting and splitting, those two recipes continue to cause issues in almost every single league that released since. So because of that, I think it gets bumped up to a B. B for Bestiary. We have farmed 5,000 winged scarabs with Bestiary, you know, duping or resetting the sexton charge on a watchstone. People have like duped their watchstones with Bestiary. There's all sorts of crazy shit that came out of the beast recipes being in the game, so I think that's pretty cool. Incursion. I am not a big fan of temple building. I actually hate like connecting the rooms and like looking at the map while the timer is ticking down. However, Incursion was really juicy up until Kalandra. Up until this point, Incursion monsters had like the highest rarity of like anything in the game. So the Incursion end boss, the temple boss, you know, the big Roomba, also not great. It has some nice spell effects, but like it's not a memorable boss fight. I think Incursion is juicy in group play, or it was until Kalandra, so that's nice. But I'll just put it at C. Double corrupting. And double corrupting is pretty much what saves it, I think. If it wasn't for like double corruptions, I think I just put it at D. Delve. Now Delve League was so much fun. Delving deep for the first time. It's the first league where I played with the group that I now play with pretty much every league start.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Delve, the mechanic itself is S tier. The fact that they added a completely different type of endgame that you can like push for and adds completely different crafting, and yeah, Delve is really good. I think Delve deserves S tier. It was a groundbreaking mechanic, and it was a lot of fun. It's still in the game, and some people still basically only play Delve, which can't be said for a lot of other mechanics. Like you can't just play Bestiary or just play. I guess you can kind of just play Breach. But all right, Betrayal. Betrayal mechanic. I fucking hate the Betrayal mechanic. I don't like interacting with the board, but if you do, it's really good. However, Betrayal introduced scarabs, which is a huge part of the game and is still used by pretty much every single player to this day. Incredibly relevant. I think Betrayal deserves an A just for scarabs, but the mechanic itself for me probably bumps it down to a B. I'll give it a B. Synthesis. Synthesis was not great to engage with. It had the magic of building your little map, kind of like a combination of like your self-built Delve, but interacting with the synthesizer and like hoping for results, going for third-party tools to check what stats you need, the integration of that to the game was terrible. It introduced a lot of power creep that's still relevant to this day. Synthesis implicits are some of the best things you can have on the implicits of the items. But the league itself, not great for me. I think I'm actually putting it as D tier for me. Betrayal BT is a war crime. Yeah, I just don't like it. This is like, this is my personal preference. It's close to A just because of the scarabs, but I don't like to interact with the board. It is very smart and really well designed, but It's not for me. Veiled mods should bump it back up to A. Yeah, like if I did like little like A plus, B plus, whatever, it would be B plus probably. But I don't want to make like 17 different tiers, whatever. Okay, Legion. Legion was amazing. Oh my god, the Legion mechanic with a Headhunter character was so good. 5 ways are still in the game and are the best source of XP. Full screen Cyclone, Slayer with fucking full screen AoE, actual more than full screen Cyclone. Legion deserves an S tier. Blight. I did not play Blight, so I should just put it here. If I played it, it would probably be somewhere here, C or B. I played Classic WoW in Blight League, and so did pretty much all of my friends. And so that was the first league that we skipped completely. Oils are okay, yeah, and doing like Blight map projects was fun. It was a lot of gumball and then, you know, sorting that and making some videos on that. That was cool. But it's tower defense. You like go in and then you kind of AFK. You like set up a character that can like not do anything and then just clear the map, you know, watch some videos. Moving on, Metamorph. Metamorph was nice. Initially you had to pick up all the parts yourself. That was not nice. You had to pick up 100 extra things every map just so that you can open the final thing and then you figure out that you still don't have a brain in the game and outside, so you couldn't build it because you forgot to kill the boss or something. That was bad. But they added Cyrus, I think, in this league. And this is the first league where I like giga min-maxed the character, a summoner, and did a lot of Cyrus carries. That was fun, but that's nothing to do with the league mechanic, really. I kind of like the little lab where you like assemble your metamorphs, and I did a big project on that too. But it's kind of a meh league mechanic. It's somewhere in the middle, maybe C tier. Actually, I'll put it in B, just because it's really close. Just based on the mechanic, it'd be C. Yeah, I'll put it in C. Delirium, instant S tier, changes the endgame completely, challenges your character or your group, you know, for insane damage output, extremely rewarding, absolute S tier, yes. Changes your GPU too. Yeah, the early Delirium was extremely laggy for a lot of people. Also added cluster jewels, which are insanely relevant to this day. It added voices. What else about Delirium? There's just no more comment. Like S tier, one of the best leagues ever. Interacts with other mechanics too. Like, you know, it juices up Breach, juices up Abyss. Like, just a really well designed league. I'm hoping for more of these leagues in the future. Harvest, wow. Well, Harvest was really something. Harvest was way too strong at the time, but it introduced card gambling, which is one of the stupidest and also some of the best things that happened to gambling in Path of Exile. Building the garden was F. Yes, building, like setting up your garden for the first time, but after that, it was S. Question is, how do we actually rate this? Because the league itself was fun. We did some stupid projects. we harvested like 4.5 million life force with Evan. I built like I-86 seeds on a plot. Like every single seed was like a highest tier seed you can get. And then I fought it for like an hour to kill all the bosses. But does it deserve an S? It's really close. It's either A or S. It added so much good stuff, but it also too strong at the time. And since then, it has been like slowly losing power. They keep neutering it more and more. I don't think it deserves an S. I'm actually putting it in A. It's a close S though. Heist. Heist is like probably F tier for a lot of people, but I enjoy when they make complete alternate endgames that you can just like live in and only do that. And they did that with Delve, kind of. They did that with Heist. This is the first one since Delve where you can just basically play that. It's not quite S tier, but I think it deserves an A. Kind of sucks waiting for doors, but like if you optimize a heist character with like fast rogues and you know, fast door opening and stuff, this is probably pretty controversial, but I'm putting heist on A. I had a massive heist project. I think I did like a full tab of blueprints, which are 144, and that was fun. Ritual. I hate the ritual mechanic. I really hate it. The mobs don't drop any loot. You have to like shop through the window, you like forget about it. And I did a ritual project, which was pretty much my first and only big project fail, where I like tried to target farm a mirror and I couldn't. Like people have been saying that it's like 100 to 200 giga juice maps on average, and I did like 500 and I didn't get any good item. No headhunter, no mirror, nothing. Yeah, I just don't like the mechanic. It has some redeeming qualities. It has some cool bases that they added, like this Archnemesis crown and the crocodile boots and stuff like that. But I don't think it's enough to save it from F tier. It might actually be the first F tier on my list. Maven did not come with the ritual. So I'm separating bosses from... Maven came out when ritual came out, but does it deserve an F tier? The league mechanic itself, the super juicer, I don't think it can redeem itself. If I found the mirror from my ritual project, I would probably put it in like C. But I didn't find anything. I'm putting it in F. The first F tier is ritual. Ultimatum. Well, about that, we're adding a... Should I add a tier here? Add a row above. And we're gonna call it band. There we go. We're adding a new tier for Ultimatum, the forbidden tier, the incident. Wait, maybe it shouldn't be above S. No, that's stupid. Let's not do that. Delete row. Okay, Ultimatum, the league mechanic was really nice. The boss is kind of meh. The league mechanic though is really nice. I played for 3 days.
Sleep soundly.
Then we got banned. However, a couple of weeks later, I came back and played hardcore SSF on a new account with 4 stash tabs, and I got to like level 94 or something. So that was fun. That was an adventure. Not many people watch that because people don't care about me playing hardcore. But the league mechanic itself is nice. It's actually pretty juicy. I don't think it quite deserves an A tier though. Maybe it does. But in current PoE, would they really drop a lot of loot? I don't know. It also introduced Hateforge. I did not play a Hateforge build yet. I think it probably deserves an A. I'll put it here. Expedition. In my ass. The Expedition mobs drop no loot, which makes it bad for group play. But logbooks are really nice. It's an S tier for some people. I don't know if it's quite S tier for me. It's A at least. 2gen is kind of okay. But just the logbooks, like it's completely different endgame again. That technically on Trade League you can just play infinitely. You can just only do logbooks if you want. It requires a lot of reading. It definitely doesn't deserve an S for me, I think. Logbooks are fun, but not that fun. Gwen and Gambling was fun, but then they nerfed it completely. I'm putting it as A. Expedition was nice. Scourge. Scourge was also very nice. The Scourge mechanic itself, it just basically doubled your map, which added so much juice to your map. And there was some funny interactions that came from that. Cooking up the items yourself for SSF, that is not nice, like hoping for something good. But buying on Trade League, there was some crazy Scourge implicit stuff. And it added extra inventory space for you to store things to carry out from your map. And like 100 or 200 extra quant, which is very juicy. I think it's A as well. Yeah, it's a good league. Archnemesis. Archnemesis is an instant F. basically. I don't think I even have to think about that. That was one of the first mechanics that I just completely skipped. Like, I played a bunch of this league, and I never did Archnemesis. I never opened that menu. Okay, I mean, I did a few times, but like, I didn't do like an Archnemesis big project or anything. And it ruined rare monsters for the rest of Path of Exile. Ever since Archnemesis, we just have worse rares in the game. Nerf to Headhunter, just F, just insta F. Moving on, Sentinel, instant S. Holy shit, Sentinel is the last best league that I've played. It introduced recombinators, which is the single most fun RNG crafting mechanic that they have done in the last few years. There is so many crazy meme items we made in Sentinel with Bazooka Tank. The robots juiced up the group map so much that we crashed. We had to like stop pressing them, or we only had to press them one person at a time because they were so juicy. Amazing league, absolutely great. You just have a robot flying with you and it buffs mobs and it juices up your maps, and there's recombinators. Amazing. Kalandra, that's an F. There is an argument to be made that it's D because there was some cool stuff you could do with the lake. Like, Kalandra basically enabled Havoc to do like the 1 hour 100 push, and that could not have been done in any other league except for with the Kalandra Beyond tiles. But that's not enough for me to push it up from F. Kalandra is the league I played the least. I would basically like quit immediately on like day 4. Yeah, group mapping was completely destroyed in Kalandra. They removed the historic modifiers that were present for so many years. Breach died, Abyss died, Incursion died. Every league mechanic that juiced the maps previously basically died and got replaced by RNG loot goblins. Sometimes you get 50 divines, Omega Lul. It's just a terrible balance change, like balance state change in the game, I think. Goes in the F tier. Sanctum. Sanctum,
It's
though.
wonderful to see a fellow explorer.
I don't think it's quite an S, but I'm gonna put it in A. Sanctum was really fun. The Sanctum mechanic itself, again, a different type of endgame. Unfortunately, you can't only play that. You can't like just Sanctum for hours and hours. You have to go in the map and click the thing. I'm putting it in A. Sanctum was very solid. Yeah, the last good league. And then Crucible. Crucible is like F-. If I could, I mean I can. I'm gonna add another tier just for Crucible. F-. That's where Crucible belongs. This is the current league. This is the worst league I have ever played. I still play it because the game is good. Path of Exile is a good game and there's a lot of other stuff to do, so it's fine. But everything having to do with Crucible, holding the thing to charge up, the fact that the monsters don't drop any loot, the fact that the league mechanic itself, that you go into this like corridor and you have to run through it and you don't have to kill anything. Everything about Crucible is just terrible. It introduced power creep, so there is some crazy weapons that can be made with crazy trees, but that's not enough for it to save itself. Everything to do with engaging with the league mechanic, to me personally, is terrible, so it deserves its own F- tier. Sucks to end on a negative note, but that's where we are. More of this in the future, and we are very happy. Even these, we're happy. Even these, we're kind of happy, right? Like, as long as they're making C or better, I feel like we're happy. This stuff, not more of this stuff. Please no more of this stuff. More of this stuff. These were so good leagues. Oh my god, so many good memories. Thousands of hours of fun gameplay. Pretty much no other game can say that, at least for me. Looking forward to ExileCon and Path of Exile 2. And more of S and A tier leagues. Thanks for watching the tier list, and see you in the next video. Okay, I'm making a last minute edit. Because Ritual reintroduced Harvest, it doesn't deserve to be in the same tier as Archnemesis and Kalandra. I'm bumping it up to D. Almost even C. It's the last league where you could play Self-Curse. Okay, it gets a 2-tier bump. Fuck it. Fuck it. Ritual is getting bumped up to C. The last Self-Curse League and the last Good Harvest. Okay, that is true.